Saturday, everyone. Welcome to another episode of the Pain in Your Assets podcast with Stella Bee on air. I am currently in Los Angeles for the BET experience, and I'm standing at the corner of, I believe this is Pico and what is the other street? Fuegua. I probably pronounced that wrong. However, I chose this particular corner to do the podcast because it's a lot going on at this corner. I mean, we have pharmacy right here. We have a lot of buildings that have a lot of graffiti on them. There's construction going on. The buildings are quite exquisite here at this corner. I find it interesting that this particular train stop, well, the style of it allows the passengers to actually walk across the platform without having any type of barriers there. I'm from Chicago, so when we have for our public transportation system, which we call the CTA, which is basically just an acronym for Chicago Transit Authority. Others call theirs Metro. I think this is called the Metro, and maybe Atlanta, I think, also calls theirs a Metro. And how there are a variety of transportation methods to the cryptocurrency. Why did I say cryptocurrency? Sorry. I meant to say the crypto arena, which is about a block from here, which is right next door to the Los Angeles Convention Center. Let's see, can I see it from this corner? Okay, yeah, you can see it from here. You can see the crypto, it's right down there. And the Los Angeles Convention Center is right next door, like across the street from it. And so tomorrow is the 2024 BET Awards. I believe Taraji is hosting again this year. And I think starting on the 26th through today, they had the 2024 BET experience, which has been a lot of interesting activities. Yesterday, I spent quite a bit of time in there at the All the Queen's Men station, where apparently every year they have what they call the Black Excellence Brunch. And so when I asked a couple of the attendees, one person stated that they didn't really expect to have so much activity with the all white that they usually wear every year for the Black Excellence Brunch. And so I guess this year maybe the All the Queen's Men hosted that tradition. Let this train go by. And so the topic of this particular episode is accessibility. I guess I can call it that, because there's trains here, there's buses at this corner. Of course, we all know about the Lyft and Uber. For those who may live in the area, may walk or take other bike methods to get to these public facilities. And so the question is, because they say time is money.
Wait.
And if time is money, the question becomes do you choose to pay more to get to your destination faster, or do you choose to take a more economically feasible route, which would be the train or the bus, versus taking an Uber? Because I came in yesterday straight from the airport, and my ride was about $50 to come straight to this area from the airport. Whereas I could have taken the train, which there's free shuttles from the airport to, there's like what they call a LAX Green Line station, and then from there you take the Green Line to the Blue Line, and then the Blue Line will take you here, and you walk like one block over to the crypto arena. And so it's a lot more transfers. It's definitely more time. I think it took me about a good 2 hours plus to do that yesterday. So I took a ride in, which is $50. But I took a ride back last night to my hotel, because my hotel is right near the airport, and that was about $2, $1.75, because I think the transfer is free. But it took me 2 hours. So the question is, do you choose the faster route, which could cost more money, or do you choose the longer route, which is less expensive? Because they say, time is money. So but for those who can afford it, because everybody can't afford $50 just to go from point A to point B. So do you choose that if you can't afford it? I know we had the same situation in Chicago, because I work in the downtown area, and parking downtown is definitely very much more expensive than if I was to just jump on the bus, because the condo building that I live in, there's a bus stop right on the corner. So every morning I hop on the bus and go straight to work. One bus, one shot. Get off the bus, walk about 3-4 blocks, and I'm right at work. Whereas there's others who maybe they don't have access to a bus near their home, or it's too difficult, too many transfers to get to the bus or the train, and so by the time they get to the bus or the train, they could have just been at work already. Just go ahead and drive. But now they have to pay for parking. So the question is, do you get up earlier and take more time to get to your destination for less cost, or do you just go ahead and I'm just going to hop in my car, pay for parking when I get to work, or I'm going to hop in this ride share car and just pay the cost to get from point A to point B. Sometimes it depending on if you have an appointment, you have an audition or an interview, it may be feasible to go ahead and bite that cost and do it. But if you have time, and if you like to take the scenic route, sometimes the scenic route can be fun, especially if you're in a new area. And because this is my first time taking the metro here in Los Angeles, and so I learned of what is at the various stops. I think we passed, and there's some neighborhoods that are probably a little have some stereotypes to them, maybe. I passed by, I think, Crenshaw at one direction, and maybe I saw, but then I saw Long Beach at the end of another. I didn't get that far, but I saw that, so I saw like where the various neighborhoods were, whereas I may not have seen the direction of them all if I had not taken the train. because I take the train a lot in Chicago, and that's how I learned about the various neighborhoods and how to get around. Because I would hop on a bus in a minute. Back in the day, for those who may be around my age, you remember those super transfers and the tokens? I would get one of those and be up, as Cardi B said, up. So I just thought I would just use that as a topic for today. What would you choose if you can afford it? For some, is it it may be some may be a little bit more bougie or status. I mean, if you're a celeb, because I'm here in Chicago. I mean, I'm here in LA, and we have celebs in Chicago also. But if you're someone that may require security when you walk around, then yeah, you're probably gonna need. Not only do you want to take a driver, you may need your own personal driver, like a private driver, because a Lyft or Uber might not even be safe for you. Someone on there might be trying to get some money out of you if they thought they could. But if you are someone who everyone doesn't know who I am, or I'm just the person who goes to work and come home every day, do you choose those options? And if so, what would be your reasons for that? So I thought I would just use it as my topic for today. Accessibility, having access to transportation that may be more costly, but it saves you time in the long run. Or do you I'm just going to go ahead and just use my time to invest in the public transit system, which maybe that's not a bad thing either. I mean, my parents, are both retired, and they my mom eventually retired from a transit situation, whereas before she was a real estate agent. So investing in the public transportation investing in public transportation is like the equivalent of investing in government entities and nonprofits and social services, because they rely on our income, they rely on our participation to keep those services going. Just like with corporations, they rely on our income, our patronage, to keep their businesses going as well. Which is, I guess that's the reason why they say you should treat your nonprofit like it's a corporation, even though you're not necessarily expected to have a profit at the end of your fiscal year. However, you do need funds to run it. And everyone doesn't have program income. Some may have more grants and contracts, which is what my book is on, by the way. It's still on Amazon. But using public transportation is a means of allowing them to have program income. Actually, when we use airlines, sometimes those airlines could also be maybe not the actual airline itself, but maybe the whole, like O'Hare, for instance, LAX. Those have governmental program income. The individual airlines themselves, like American and United and so forth, they're basically, I guess, renting. They're paying to be able to have access to those airports, but the airport itself is also actually government income. I think there's another train coming. But yeah, it's a pretty cool corner. looks like they're building something right here. I'm not sure what this is. And a couple weeks ago, I was actually in Miami, and Miami is another place where they had an entire community where the art on the buildings, I think they called it Wynwood, something like that. I think it was called Wynwood, or where the entire community, I guess they started off with graffiti, and then it got to the point where they expanded the art on the buildings to like the entire community. And I see here there's another area where you can see the graffiti on the buildings. So interesting. I'm gonna log off this episode, but yeah, I thought it was an interesting topic to discuss today. Happy Saturday, everyone. Stella Bee on air. Take care.